Hi, I'm Phoebe and welcome back to my channel. I'm a recipe developer and writer, and I make videos about what I'm cooking, my experience as a autistic and ADHD person, and slice of life type content as a creative. Today I'm doing a video inspired by Ashra's incredible video of a similar title. I thought it was a fantastic idea. I learnt a lot from it, got some really good ideas on how I can help myself further, and so I hope this does the same for someone else. These accommodations range from like fun hacks that would probably help everyone on the planet to more specific, very real daily non-negotiable needs. We cover routines, hacks, daily assistive items that have been worthwhile, how I set up my space, language I use, habits, requests I make of other people, all of which aim to reduce my daily experience to stress. Number 1, I take Merlin, my dog, with me in the car when I'm dropping off family members at the train station if they're like going on travel or leaving. He's a great transition object and just makes me feel less jarred by the whole experience and is quite comforting throughout that. 2, I wear the same shoes every day. 3, I have pretty much the same breakfast every day. And 4, I pretty much have the same snacks, at least morning tea snacks every day. All of these things help reduce decision fatigue and help me just get on with my day and focus on more important things. I wear noise cancelling headphones or kind of invisible loop earplugs all day every day. As in this chapter of my life, I'm extremely sensitive to noise. I go to therapy very regularly to help process life. I keep a hard copy planner. My whole life revolves around it pretty much, but it helps me not have to keep everything in my head. Without it, my forgetfulness would be extremely exposed. Number 8, my dog. His smell, the tactileness of him, the non-verbal communication, sense of routine. He helps me in so many ways. Getting up early before other people in the house and before other people in the world. It's like a low sensory ease into the day. And the morning hours are my most productive. So I formed a routine around that, which works for me. My haircut is an accommodation. It doesn't fall in front of my face. I don't touch my hair and my scalp as much because of it. I use classical music to help transition to tasks. And I'm in like energizing, actually kind of boppy classical music. It just helps my brain kind of focus back on one thing. I like listening to rain, fireplace sounds while I'm pretty much doing any task on my computer. It's my preferred white noise background. I keep my bin liners at the bottom of each bin, which really helps remove the barrier of doing that task. I go for email and text over calling for the most part. I only do voice message with a select number of friends, and I only do phone calls with one friend, and they know who they are, and I've acclimatized that over the years, and it feels safe to do that with those people. My outfits are pretty much in the same color palette of blue, green, and purple. This helps reduce the mental load as well, but there's something about those colors that I find both clicks together visually for me, but also is quite calming to wear. I also wear clothing that isn't too baggy or too fitted. I like to see the outline of my body in space. I think it provides some like optimal proprioceptive feedback about where my body is on space, and also providing the right amount of like pressure from clothing on my skin to help me feel regulated. I'm a crafty gal and often make pointless crafts. No craft is pointless, but they feed my sense of accomplishment and are very good for my mental health. I don't watch scary movies. I like low stimulation films that reflect the human experience and help me make sense of my life experiences. I sleep with a stuffed animal and enjoy the softness on my face for helping get to sleep. I also sleep with lots of pillows for like support and to help with restless legs, melatonin to help me sleep, magnesium because my body chews through that. The only fragrances I really wear are via deodorant or like shampoo. My nervous system finds there are enough fragrances in the world already. They attach to everything, clothing, when you hug your friend, when you sit in their car. They often make me quite anxious, give me a headache, so I lean on the more fragrance-free side of the spectrum. The only jewelry I wear are these little star studs. I would like to branch out for this point in my life. They're comfortable and practical. I can't even feel them. There's like zero sensory distraction from them. I shower in the evening. I find it very regulating and relaxing, and I like the feeling of going to bed feeling clean. I also just don't have the energy or like the sensory bandwidth to go underwater in the morning. No. For the most part, I drive the same route or route to places when I go. I can drive more on autopilot, be less hypervigilant. I look up menus before I go to places. That saves some brain power when I'm at the venue that I can use to be more present with the person person I'm with. I also look up street view for places. I can be quite slow to take in visual information, so that helps me get a head start in that department. I ask people, consciously or unconsciously, what certain experiences were like, and like probe for details, ask specific questions, even on like layout, what the procedural experience of said thing was, like going to a new place, what that type of medical experience or appointment was like. This helps me like walk myself through things with someone while I'm regulated, so it makes it easier to do said thing if I want to in the future, and it also helps like open up my world to more like fun things that I might enjoy. I use the phrase "say again" quite often. I first heard Timothy Chalamet use this in a press interview, but it's kind of blown my world and been very useful. I don't know what I was doing beforehand, saying like, sorry, what? Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that? Like, so many words, so much effort to just like get someone to repeat something when you can just say again with a smile. Of course it helps if you don't hear what the person said, but it also helps with delayed processing to just give yourself an extra minute, and also help clarify something if you're taking it potentially too literally. I use hand gestures to supplement communication. A thumbs up is a classic, but also making a heart when I'm saying goodbye to people helps demonstrate how I feel about them without putting so much pressure on words to always get that across. My room is very visually stimulating in a way that I like, which might be contradictory to things I've just said, but it works for me in this context and it puts me in a good mood. Having built a community online is a bit of an accommodation. It's a way to connect and feel connected to people in a way that doesn't come with the same costs of in-person socializing. It's absolutely no substitute for real person socializing. Important caveat. It's one accessible way for a bit of connection with people, and also a bit of an outlet for me to be a bit more unmasked in my own way, or at least have more control about how I come across. This is a loaded topic. There's obviously balance with this. It's not always healthy, but there is some positives to it. I eat same and safe foods when I need to. I rarely drink caffeine. Makes me very jittery, and I'm prone to jitteriness enough. I rarely socialize in the evening. I don't rule it out, but just generally my reserves are very low at that time and I'm more anxious, so I will enjoy myself more if it's not at that time. I often catch up with friends in the same way, like going for a walk, going to the same place to eat as we have, going for a picnic in the same park, getting the same mutually enjoyed safe food. My body will probably be more relaxed because it knows the environment, and therefore I will be more present. I rarely hang out in group social settings. I have been a part of them and continue to be in different ways across my life, but I'm guaranteed to mask more, and just generally my sense of self feels like it's been put in the washing machine. It's more taxing, and I prefer more one-on-one deep connection. I avoid crowds. They create a lot of tension in my body and are very taxing to be in. I often plan to travel or go to new places in off-peak hours for the quiet. I prioritize my special interest, cooking. I ease into things and allow myself to take a long time to make decisions. My nervous system sense of time just requires a bit longer to get used to things, and I've made peace with that. I wear minimal makeup for sensory reasons, and I also just like to have the option to touch my face. I also like my face to be able to touch other things, like my dog's face. I try to sit on the same side of a table when eating out with another person, so like at a bench or like at a 90 degree on a square table. That helps the amount of eye contact required just be more comfortable, and I won't get a headache after. Apart from the top tier of neuroaffirming healthcare people that I see, I generally do telehealth appointments. Phone calls especially are great when you have to convey a lot of information, because you can just have your notes there and like plow through them without being distracted by the other person's facial expressions or like pausing or if I'm going to an in-person appointment, I will bring a snack for after, because they're very draining. I balance masking and not masking. This is a work in progress, but I know I can mask well. So I try to use that to my advantage when the positives outweigh the negatives, and try to not beat myself up for that. I rest in the span of a day more than the average person. I'm very bad at it, but it's very necessary to like sustainably pace my energy levels. I talk to myself when I'm home alone, when I'm driving. I practice conversations. I explain ideas in my head. And this is a good sign. If I'm doing this, it means I'm regulated enough and have the energy to speak. Could be related to echolalia, whatever it is. I encourage myself to do it if I'm in the mood. It usually means I'm feeling like happy, confident, and have more energy to be like external in how I'm showing up. And lastly, I seek out things I can do well, be that forms of work, communication, like caring for animals is a fantastic side gig. I visit my grandmother who has dementia. That's very hard, but I was socialized around a lot of older people, so it's a realm I feel I can easily succeed at and make a good impression. And doing these things makes me feel like I'm having a positive impact and feeds a positive sense of self. with that, I'm now off to therapy. I hope this helps some people be more compassionate to themselves. Please share your wisdom if this generated any ideas in the comments. I really look forward to reading them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.